Hello, my name's Shudley and welcome back for another episode of Ep3 as Finland. In previous episode, we managed to get the land voting laws going, and we did also manage to get rid of the local police force. So we now got a dedicated police force. That does also mean that we could go all the way to level 5 now. We're currently improving the education, which is then going to allow us to get, well, a bit more education access, but also more conversion, which does mean that most of the population is going to be Protestants. I mean, they are already mostly Protestant. Yeah, it's 99.5% Protestant, which is the state religion right now. But we've got second-class citizens. Who are these? Oh, Russian Protestants, okay. Well, you know what, if they are converting at least, I suppose that's fine. But yeah, so we are about to get a university. We are also not too far from getting the atmospheric engine. That's 8 weeks away. Also, since there's no coal in Finland, we're going to be a bit, my. Pretty sure I've done a landing. Fighting the French right now. But yeah, so that probably tells me that we won't be able to get France's support our independence quite yet, but at least Britain still does. Admittedly, it is, you know, it is -0.1 actually there. But yeah, the Liberty site is still dropping quite a bit quickly, so we might be turned into a puppet sooner or later. Which is gonna, of course, be very bad for our income. We'll see how it goes. I mean, at least... Oh, right, we've maxed out the relation with France. Who else could we perhaps, or should we improve relations with? We could improve relations with Sweden. Although, didn't we already do that at one point? We've got still fairly decent relations with them, so yeah, we have probably done that. Russia and Austria, if they got the non-aggression pact with the Russians, that's not going to help. We could try to improve relations with Americans. We'll also go ahead and improve relations with the Baltic governors again. If nothing else, at least, you know, we might have a fellow ally over here to declare independence at the same time. Oh, alright, we're getting the rye farm up here. I guess we're still getting the iron mine over here as well, so we'll just hold on to the support. Oh, and is that... Oh, right, yeah. Oh, there's the atmospheric engine. Right, so the one of these was built by us. One of them was there from the beginning. Oh, vassalization 3. There's even more authority per subject, income transfer subjects. That's, Base knows no border. I'm going to improve relations with Sweden. That might prove to be useful. Now, I do actually wonder, Sweden, you're not willing to give me support for independence yet? No, because you're kind of scared of Russia, which makes sense. There we go. The other iron mine in Kuopio is almost done, and they're building another rye farm in West Karelia. The private sector, which is actually not bad. Got 1.8 million in investment pool. My goodness. That's quite a bit. We're getting to the point where it might be actually worthwhile to increase our construction speed even further. Falling in line. Finnish Portuguese prominent supporters of the Finnish party have proposed support for the Finnish-French Association to be a component of the official party platform. You know what? Sure, I guess. So now we've got the associations that's got quite a bit of support. And we will want to stay on good relations with the French, of course. But yeah, unfortunately, they do not... yeah, the culture towards Russia, they're not quite keen enough to support our independence. It's a bit of a shame. Now, at least we've got a decent bit of convoys right now, but I suppose the... Ah, right, so that's not used for international trading anymore, I don't think. Ooh, we can get boost for railways. Sure, I do want that, because that's going to mean that we'll save like nearly a year for the research, I reckon. Which is, in fact, very nice. So, we're getting the rye farms. That's going to give us a bit more food. Although, well, a bit more grain. Although, I think grain is actually in fairly high supply. It is. But it's good to have some local production for it, nonetheless. And yeah, groceries, they're still a decent... Actually, the Russian market is 8% dependent on exports to the world market. We're exporting quite a bit to Britain and a little bit to the French as well. And then there's some additional exports as well. On top of that, so still no coal, I reckon. Nope, still no coal. What we could do, though, since we got the thing, we could get the motor industries. We'll have to get some steel for that. But then we can start building some railways, and that hopefully will be enough to then fix our industry or the infrastructure levels a bit further. Ooh, general staff is spreading. Very handy. Which is something we are going to be researching anyway. Got a bit of the baking powder is also going to be quite handy for the extra food production. But after that, we might want to go for something in the egalitarianism is going to be done fairly shortly. Could go for the nationalism, if that is not spreading automatically. Pharmaceuticals would be also quite handy. Reduce the disease outbreak chance and all that. We could go for the corporate charters soon enough. Or the modern tourist would also be... Actually, no, we'll go for the modern tourist, because that's going to allow us to get a bit more infrastructure. It's not going to be a whole lot, but it will still give us a bit more, and of course it's also going to allow us to construct a bit faster once we have enough construction capacity for it. But there we go, we're at the top 40 in terms of GDP. Actually, I do wonder, who is ahead of us? Like, right ahead of us. Nagpur, Navlachia, Papal State. Okay, this is... yeah, we're not very high on the list yet. I'm hoping that we can get a little bit further in here sooner or later. Another reason why we're building a bit of the food production over here, especially in West Karelia, is that is the agriculture focus for us right now. But it's also just for the sake of if we can reduce the reliance on, for example, importing grain from Russia, that will then reduce the Liberty Desire impact over here. We are still... yeah, the prestige is... oh, yeah, no, that's going to be pretty bad. But the economic dependency, that's fairly rough for us right now. I do actually wonder. So about 20% of the GDP is owned by Russia. Now, that does quite a bit. Plus one from massive difference in GDP. Then quite a bit unfulfilled biodo satisfied by Russia. And there's a little bit of unfulfilled Russian biodo satisfied us. I guess mostly the tools, maybe a little bit metal or iron ore. So yeah, it's not the most... Actually, I'm going to go and put the road maintenance over there briefly. Get the construction work done slightly faster. Oh, they're building a food industry in Ostrobothnia. I mean, we've got the rye farm in there, so it could be quite handy. Plus, again, the food industry is going to be very, very profitable. I wonder if we should actually, with the rye farms, we could go for the apple orchards. That would give us a bit of fruits, less alcohol, but that would give us a bit of sugar, which we can then use in the fruit industry. For example, in the fruit industry down here, we could go for the pot stills, because we've got access to class, we'll get the pattern stills eventually. But yeah, so we can go for that one, and then over here we could probably go for the apple orchards once we have that built. We're not actually going to switch quite yet. There we go, so the rye farm built by the government is almost done. Then we'll get a government administration, which is only 100... Actually, there's 10 weeks. Hey, there we go, there's the intensive agriculture. Which actually, did we have a... I don't think we have a little... Well, I suppose it's easier to search through here. So do we have a livestock ranch? Not yet. We could go for the slaughterhouse at least, and we could probably go with the increased wool gathering. That's going to give us a bit of... fertilizer. Actually, how much fertilizer is there in the market? There's a plus 32 right now. That's going to increase the dependence on the Russian stuff a little bit further. But we can get a little bit of that at least over here at the capital state. To increase the throughput of grain slightly further. Oh, railways are spreading. Very nice. That means that it's going to be done, oh, possibly within a year. Egalitarianism is done. That's actually, we're not trying to pass any laws right now, are we? No, we're not. But we could try to get a colonial affairs. It's probably not going to happen quite yet, let's be honest. There's a National Guard, there's decent support for that. From the government, anyway. I'm not going to go for agrarianism. I think the intervention is actually pretty decent. I do also wonder, so we've got 3 mines already in here, that's decent. Oh, education investment to level 3, excellent, excellent. So that should increase the literature rate a bit further. It's not necessarily going to be skyrocketing or anything like that. I'm sure that that's still going to be rather helpful. Do we have a government administration down here already? We do. Right, okay. Might need to get another one at some point. But we haven't gotten the paper mill yet in the northern Finland either. We'll have to get that at some point. Yeah, there's still peasants available in all states, so that's good. Oh, there we go. Now they got the farms done there, so we can go and cancel the road maintenance up there. And I guess we can put the road maintenance actually in the north right now to get that government administration building done slightly faster. Not like a huge boost, but it's an extra 1 point. Wait, hold on a minute. Oh, yeah, it is an extra 1 point there now. Then it's back to West Karelia, I guess, with that. Or we could actually, we could put one in Ostrobothnia. We'll still keep the one in capital for the time being. We can have one for where we are building, which right now is still Oulu, and then we can move that back to West Karelia. The road maintenance, we are using quite a bit of our authority right now to just boost that, but that will also allow us to get the buildings done that tiny bit faster. And while it's not going to be like insane boost, it's going to have a bit of cumulative effect in there, where we just increase the production further and further. We're still making a decent bit of money right now as well, which is quite handy. So what are the... Oh, military shipyard is what they're saving up for. They're building another shipyard in Oulu. Okay, is the shipyard up here already active? I mean, it is... Oh, actually, yeah, it's decent. There's a little bit extra clippers right now in the Russian market. I guess there's also a little bit of extra... Yeah, there's a little bit extra in the world market as well. So the price is going to be somewhat repressed, I suppose, but it's still going to be alright, I think. We might need to... Actually, yeah, we've still got the convoys. Did we get the merchant marine? Well, no, we haven't built a second level port yet. Never mind. Still got 4 years of construction queue in here. Oh boy. Oh, and the iron prices through the roof once more. Do still need to get a bit more iron over here, I reckon. And I think the first company that we're going to get, if I look at the list, it's probably going to be something about iron mine, like the Metal Corporation. That would be, yeah, we just need to have a level 5 in there. That's going to also increase the steel mill throughput. But I suppose it does also increase the throughput and construction bonus for that. Little industries with company charters. Oh, we'll get some coal in there. Oh, eventually we do need to get a Nokia. Just for the heck of it. For the memes. Oh, France has founded their alliance. Right, France, you are no longer at war. You're not willing to support us, unfortunately. I'm guessing it's still mostly because, yeah, you're cautious towards Russia. Ottomans, on the other hand, we've got a good relation with you now. You also don't really want to support us quite yet. It's minus 40. They are belligerent towards Russia. Yeah, I suppose they do have quite a bit larger army than I do. But yeah, I suppose... Oh, right, now we're losing a bit of money. Is that... the construction it costs is £10,000 per week, so that's a decent bit. Oh, and Britain stopped supporting us. Could I perhaps just get a new treaty with nothing... Oh, no. Never mind, I guess you don't hate Russia anymore. Conciliatory. Oh, well, that would do it. Well, that probably means that we are going to become a puppet soon enough. Which is not ideal. Though, yeah, pretty Russian rivalry ended. Ottoman-French rivalry declared. Okay. That's... oh, actually. So I do wonder, Russia, who do you hate? Ottomans? A target conquest. Let's have a look at the other way around. So you're belligerent, but you do not want to support us. I don't think there's anyone that is actually willing to support us, though. I do actually wonder. Actually, how much would it cost to nationalize this? Oh, but that's nationalizing the privately owned. I don't think that's going to be quite what we need, is it? Yeah, I don't think we're going to throw away... You know what, actually, Russia. Could I ask for... First of all, who's in this... Alright, so they've got some of the steppe nations over there. If I request market control, they would not accept that. I decline, that's going to be minus 20 for relations, increase libido desire, yeah. They will not accept. That way we can keep ourselves within the limits here. Reducing relations, which does mean that the libido desire is not going to be dropping quite as quickly. It's still going to be dropping, mind you, but not as quickly. And that way we can hopefully keep the relations somewhat decent. Right, so the West Karelia is getting the livestock ranches in a few weeks. We're going to take another 30 weeks for the, or 34 weeks for the food industry in Ostrobothnia, but that's alright. We'll get that eventually. We'll get a little iron mine in Newland. That's going to be allowing us to get the, I suppose it's going to make the price for tools over here slightly cheaper, which does mean that then we'll be able to produce the tools. Or, well, I suppose it won't increase the amount of tools that we produce, but it might at least make it a little bit cheaper overall. Now, why is the trade center importing right now? It's exporting a lot of stuff from here. I mean, it's not necessarily all produced in Finland, mind you, but it's just, you know, within the market. There is actually a bit of the market capacity available, which aren't really being utilized. But it's mostly exporting. I guess we're making a trade revenue of 330 overall, which is not too bad. Dividends aren't a whole lot, though. It'll do for now. Of course, the tool price is still bloody massive, which we have done some work on reducing, but clearly not enough. I wonder if we should actually just go ahead and get a steel mill in here ourselves. It's probably going to be very poor productivity initially. But that might allow us to then start making some steel tools. Also, we'll need to get some coal in there. Actually, perhaps we should even get a trade center in here. I don't suppose I can set up any things that they would have. Well, I suppose if they need coal in there, then they might be more willing to import the coal from there locally. Food industry in... oh, yeah, we'll get manufacturing throughput in our capital city. That's very good. And the Tulu workshop... Oh, wow, that productivity is massive. Unfortunately, of course, the tool price is still quite sizable. If we all look at the market again, so what's the biggest deficit? Is clothing, tools, furniture, paper, iron. So technically speaking, all of these are things that we can provide for the most part. Grocery also as well. Tea, not so much. And we're very reliant on tea from, or tea imports for the tea requirements. But, you know, it's just... being this far north, it does pose a bit of difficulties for that, let's just say, on cultivating tea, or coffee for that matter. There we go. Oh, no, never mind. I was about to say that we're approaching 2 billion GDP, which is, we're not quite there yet. But at least the GDP per capita is now above 1. It's not much above 1 yet, but I'm sure that once we get the iron mines, those are going to be quite handy. Actually, I wonder... Can we see what is actually contributing to the GDP directly? Probably not entirely. But at least government dividends, tooling workshops are... Oh, those are the biggest one, okay. Good to know. And there's the railways. We'll go ahead and, once we get the motor industry, we'll build a railway over here at our capital. And we'll probably put in the passenger carriages in there as well. It's going to take a couple of years before we get to that point, though. We've got a fairly long production queue. There we go. Just 2 more months, a bit less than that, for the food industry, and, well, about 3 months for the... Oh, hold on a minute. We need to move the road maintenance, don't we? Wait, no, we already had that there. Okay, well, I guess we can have a little bit extra in here. So, any laws that we're trying to pass? Colonial affairs, maybe. Home affairs, maybe. Suppose colonial affairs could be... Rule folk would hate that. Armed forces wouldn't like that. Most of the people are, you know, not too concerned by it. We just go for the colonial resettlement. And then it's going to be alright. We don't want to be, like, too ruthless with that. But I wouldn't mind getting a sort of small... build up over here at the Niger Delta, for example. It's going to be good for getting some dyes, and I guess we could also get some coffee in there. Sugar, tobacco, things like that. Just mostly getting a bit of farming in there. That's about it. So why is the private sector... Right, it's the shipyard after the food industry. That shouldn't take too long to get started, at least. Wait, is that... Oh, right, this is upgrading the existing shipyard. That's actually quite handy. There's some peasants still available in here, so that should be fine. Looks like the clipper production, on the other hand, I mean, there is, yeah, it might not be that profitable right now to produce much extra. Of course, one of the things is that we could increase the fish production a bit further. I do actually wonder, how is the, well, I believe the food security is, it's fairly good. There's a bit of extra fish available. Oh, right, we haven't got all the canneries yet, have we? Perhaps that is going to be one of the things that we'll queue up after the modern sewerage. And then perhaps we'll go for the corporate charters of that. The Central Archives is going to be spreading right now anyway, so we can let that spread as is. We'll still definitely need to increase our universities quite a bit. But of course, right now with the paper shortage being as bad as it is, I don't think we need to increase that quite yet. We've got a paper mill underway. It just takes a while to get to that, quite frankly. I do wonder, how's the all-in population? It's already 31,000, so it has started growing. And there is 2,600 peasants waiting there to eventually start working the rye farm, I guess. We might want to get some proper fishing wharf over here as well at some point, but right now I reckon the infrastructure is going to be somewhat limited. Ooh. Ethics of exploitation. The government's attempt to pass the colonial resettlement law has brought the ethics of colonialism to the forefront of public debate. So we're going to either go for colonial resettlement is morally correct, which is a bit of a gamble. With high, well, yeah, there's a decent chance of getting some good stuff, but there's 40% chance of getting minus 10%. Or we can play it safe and take, you know, only quarter chance of losing the progress there. I'm going to play it safe. There we go, we did get plus 10% at least there. Good. Because, yeah, if we can get a little bit of colonization going down here, just to get, like, we don't really need to build a massive colonial empire and like that in here. Just get one state so we can bring in, like, dyes and things like that, so we can produce a lot of, well, I guess at least porcelain or the, hold on a minute. Yeah, porcelain, and then also it's going to help with the textile mills quite a bit. Among other things. Actually, there's no minables in here, is there? No. No, we could go for, like, if we go inland, then I believe Sokos has got some, well, there's coal in there. The coal, lead, iron, of course, further inland in here. I remember that there was sulfur, yeah, all the way up there. That might be a little bit too far beyond our reach, mind you. Just, even if we don't get the full stay here, just get, like, I don't know, enough to build 20, for example. And these days, I believe, it used to be that you'd have to immediately build a port in there, but now you can pay for it instantly when you start colonizing something further away. So that at least does help. Oh, and we're back to 1.8 million GDP. That's not good. Hey, debate success. There we go. We've got 25% chance of going forward with the law now. How is our liberty desire looking like right now? It's not great. It's, oh, it's going down very quickly right now. Economic dependence is still fairly high. There's a support regime, of course, and the exempt from military service. So those already make quite a bit of it. And then, of course, the economic dependence. Even if we've got the low liberty desire, it is still going down very quickly. Is there anything else that we could demand state? I want... Oh. Right, I won't be able to take most of it. Oh, I wonder if I could take Estland. But unfortunately that doesn't... If they don't accept that, it doesn't actually reduce the relations or anything like that. And with the relations going slowly up, we'll be reducing our liberty desire even further soon enough. Now let's go to double check. France, you still don't want to protect my or support independence? No. Oh, we got, oh, right, yeah, we've got good relations. The Ottoman Empire might be the only one, realistically speaking, that they kind of hate. But they are, at the same time, not willing to support our independence, because they realize that it would be potentially a very disastrous situation. I wonder, can I do a treaty with Baltic governance? In theory, yes. In practice, probably not a whole lot. Ah, right, we're getting the road maintenance in Åland again, just to speed up that rye farm a little bit further. We did kind of miss a good chunk of that already, but we're going to at least get, I don't know, save a month or two. Ah, right, so we're getting a militia shipyard over here, West Karelia. A lot of shipyards. But that also, I suppose, means that we can then start building up our fleet a little bit larger, which might prove to be handy. Because right now we've still got such a massive queue up here, so we're not really wanting to build up some military on top of this quite yet. Somewhere down the line, perhaps, but not quite yet. So it looks like the iron price has actually gone down. Oh, yeah. Is that because they're no longer using it for construction? And there's still, of course, me, who's using it for construction. There's some other areas they're using a lot. Or maybe the Russians aren't constructing it enough right now. I wonder how they... I don't suppose we know how much money they have. Oh, no, we don't. Opposition members put forth demands. The armed forces have got good relations with it still, or they got high approval rating towards us. So we'll just go ahead and acquiesce to their demands. The bill must pass, so that's 35% now. Getting there slowly. And there's the rye farm. Right, so remove that road maintenance, and we're building in Newland, so we can actually keep that as is. And I suppose we can keep the authority a little bit higher, so the enactment time is going to be slightly less. Got another election season starting as well. It looks like the Finnish party is losing a little bit of votes. Not necessarily enough, but they are losing some. And the population is still increasing at a steady speed, not very large speed, but... oh, finally burn this letter. Oh, actually, yeah, we'll reduce the momentum of the Finnish party a little bit further. That might mean, yeah, now 76%. I'm kind of hoping that the young Finnish party would get into power, but that's it's not going to happen quite yet. I do wonder, though, what are they supporting? And we've got the liberal movement, which have pressured quite a bit already. Might want to get this into power. Oh, right, let's move the road maintenance up to Oulu, because we got some of the lot in there. Credit where credit's due. We shall credit the we'll credit the industrialists, yeah. That might also increase the vote share for the young Finnish party. Maybe not a whole lot, but I'm sure that it's still going to be better than nothing. And there we go. The trade center is nearly done. Then, oh right, we're building stuff in the north over there, so that's actually quite handy. Where did we have the? Right, we got the build up in there. Right, so we got one that is not in use. Or rather, the one in our capital actually has the infrastructure in there. Still got a few extra, not much, but a few. Oh right, we're getting the distillation in, well, it's a bit more than 2 years right now. Oh, optimal sunlight in Holland. The 5 of our states, okay. That is very lucky, I will say. Hey, lower project consideration, there we go. We might get that passed. Now that of course does mean that we'll need to get the interest, for example, from Scandinavia. Let's we'll go ahead and take that away already and put that to Niger. Because then we can start colonizing in there. It might not be very quick colonizing, but I get it. We just need a bit of a foothold in there to start cultivating some dyes and tobacco and coffee, especially coffee. And that way we can start getting, especially since it's going to be something that the Russians might not be able to farm themselves too much. Like for example, if we look at the market for dyes, well actually right now we're not that... Well, subsistence farms are providing some. Rye farms are even... Oh wait, no, that's liquor. Hold on a minute. Aha, yeah, we are completely reliant on the imports. I thought as much. It didn't really seem correct that there would be subsistence farms providing dyes. But anyway, pressing issues. I'm gonna boost the young Finnish party even further. So they now have 21%, which is still not a whole lot, but it's still better than nothing. And we're finally building the logging camp up here in the north. And then after that is done, we'll be getting the paper mill. And that is going to be very good, because that's one of those things that we're importing a lot from the Russians right now. If we can reduce the reliance on their imports, that's going to be quite good. Let's have a look at the diplomacy, actually. We are getting pretty low on the numbers there. But there's not too much that I can do right now, unfortunately. Other than damaging relations, but that's about it. And demand state, that's... They won't accept that, but that won't also affect the relations either. I wonder. I also get... Oh, no, I don't think they'll accept that. I don't think they'll accept any of these, quite frankly. No, okay. So we can't just buy stuff from them. Although, at least with that treaty system, it is possible to buy states from another nation, which I do appreciate. I do appreciate it rather greatly. And script connections. That when time goes down. You know what, sure, we'll take that. But with that, we are unfortunately out of time for this episode. So if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll check the links down in the description. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.